Hey guys, welcome back. We're at Tinderbox Kitchen. I'm Scott Heinonen, and we are back doing another demo in the kitchen. We're going to talk a little bit of pork belly today, and some people may wonder or ask, what is pork belly? And basically, in the simplest terms, pork belly is the cut of pork that bacon comes from. And we all love bacon, but there's other things we can do with pork belly other than just make bacon. But I'm going to make reference to that when I do this. We're going to prepare one of our signature dishes here at Tinderbox Kitchen today. It's called barbecue pork belly confit. And that comes with some creamy blue cheese grits and a little nectarine salad. And so we're just going to kind of show you how we do that here. One of the favorites on the menu. Comes and goes, but it's kind of one of our signature dishes. What we have here, first and foremost, is just a raw piece of pork belly. And yes, it does come from the belly. And you can see, if I cut into this a little bit, you can kind of see how it does resemble a slice of bacon on some level, but it's completely raw. So we need to do a few things to it to get it ready to confit. And sometimes people, or the term confit may be a little bit confusing to some people, and it's kind of interesting to hear it, but basically it's a seasoned piece of meat that's been slowly cooked in its own fat. And what that yields is a very succulent, tender piece of meat. So what we're going to do is, we're going to start by really just seasoning this belly. And what we have here is what I would call a little cure mix. And this is a simple mixture of brown sugar, spices, and kosher salt. There is a little pink salt in there that we call, well, it's sodium nitrate, but it's called pink salt. And that's what gives meats their rosy glow, like ham has that pink hue to it. Because when it goes through that cooking process, otherwise it has an unappealing, it can have an unappealing color. So what we do first off, real simply, we're just going to season this half of this belly. And this is the way we do it. I do this all the time. This is kind of something we do on a regular basis here. And then I'm going to season the other half of the belly. And what you want to do is kind of rub this into the meat a little bit. And what we do is, we're not really trying to make bacon out of this. We're doing a shorter process on it. So what this does is this is going to sit for a night in the cooler. And then we're going to rinse it, and it'll be ready to actually cook in the fat. So I'm going to get that going. All right, so what we have here is a piece of belly that's actually been, quote, seasoned with our cure mix. And if we were making bacon, we would let this belly actually sit in the cure in the refrigerator for a number of days, 5 or 6 days, and then we would rinse it and smoke it, and that's what becomes bacon. But the process that we're doing today is we're doing the confit, as we mentioned. So what we're going to do is, and you can see on the meat, it has a little nice pink hue from the curing salts that were in that spice mix and that curing mix. So what we do here, I'm just going to portion this into what we do. I like to cook it portioned because it seems to cook better and more uniformly. And then that goes in a pan, and I got a few of them here, so I'm just going to check this off my prep list here this morning. And again, nice hue. That's it. This will all go in the pan. I'll try and fit them in a single layer. Obviously, we're doing a little larger scale. If you were doing it at home, you'd want to do a smaller, portion of this. So that's ready to go into the fat, and I actually have some rendered pork fat here that we've used one other time for another confit of pork belly. And what that does is you can actually reuse the fat a couple times. I know it sounds weird, but after the first time you use it, it gets some of the seasoning from that curing process, and that additionally seasons the meat. So what we're going to do is, fat just goes right on top of this. And I know it seems like an odd thing, but the result is just such a delicious product. And we do a lot of confit stuff here at the restaurant. We do a mac and cheese that has a duck leg confit on top of it. So a little piece of foil will cover that. That'll go in the oven, and what we call slow and low. We cook it at 250 degrees for about 4 hours. And what you want to do is this comes out of the oven. It's completely cooked, fork tender. What we do is we like to cool it in its fat, and basically this is it kind of falls under the category of charcuterie, which is the simple processes of smoking, curing, and salting meats. So we do a lot of that charcuterie around here. We do a lot of sausage making, things of that nature, and this kind of falls under that category. So this will go in the oven for about 4 hours at 250. What we have is kind of the chilled product, the chilled confit. This is a piece of the pork belly that's been cooled in its fat, and we take it out of the fat, rinse it lightly. So this is completely cooked, and you can see it does kind of resemble bacon because essentially, like we said, it is the same cut. So what we do at the restaurant when we get an order, we take a piece of the belly, which is just fork tender, and we dredge it in a little bit of flour. We don't even need to season the flour because the meat is so seasoned just from the cooking process. So we dredge this, and this goes into the fryer to crisp up. And that flour coating helps yield kind of a crispy end product. We fry that for about 1 minute. And then we'll finish that on the grill with a little of our house barbecue sauce, and I'll show you how it's plated after that. Pork belly is nice and grilled and glazed with our house barbecue sauce. We do a Kansas City style kind of barbecue sauce, ketchup, molasses based, a little bit of spice in there. And what we're doing right now at the restaurant, we're garnishing the pork belly with a little nectarine salad, and the nectarines are basically dressed with a really light mustard vinaigrette. The mustard and the fruit itself kind of cuts the richness of the whole dish, especially those grits and then the fat from the pork belly as well. And that's pretty much it. Barbecue pork belly confit, blue cheese grits, nectarine salad. Signature appetizer at Tinderbox Kitchen.